This is the Tigers Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Detroit Tigers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Hey, we asked for a bounce-back win, and the Detroit Tigers delivered. Welcome into a live Locked On Tigers postcast, a late-night Locked On Tigers postcast. After a rain delay, the Tigers and White Sox finally got game number 3 of the 4-game series in Rate Field in Chicago, or at Rate Field in Chicago, I should say. 5-4 win for the Tigers, 41st win of the season, best record in baseball. And this one was a little bit of a roller coaster. Good early on. The Tigers pour some runs on early. And how about Sawyer Gipson-Long making his first start since 2023? We'll break that down. And the Wenceel Perez slide, the infamous slide. We'll go over that. Of course, I'll have our biggest takeaway, our talking points, our turning point, and our player of the game. That's all next on a live Locked On Tigers postcast. But first, a sincere thank you for making this your Detroit Tigers post-game destination, the Locked On Tigers postcast, free and available wherever you get your podcasts, and of course on YouTube. Don't forget to check out Locked On Tigers with Scott Bentley, and do us a favor, like and subscribe as we continue to grow the Locked On Tigers channel. You got post-game reaction shows with me, Jake Riepma, and the Daily Show with Scott Bentley. What a community Locked On Tigers is. So, as always, your comments are welcome. And if you stayed up as late as we all did with this one, you deserve to have your voice heard. So go ahead and fire up that comment box, and I'll read as many as we can. Because, listen, this had the feel of I don't want to say easy win, but when the first 4 batters of the game score, you feel pretty good. You go up 4-0. And you feel good about your team's chances moving forward. And that's exactly what you saw in the first inning. You get the Riley Greene 2-run single after Gleyber Torres and Andy Ibanez set the table. You get the Dillon Dingler single to score Riley Greene. And then, add Spencer Torkelson scoring on the Javy Baez single. You had it all going on in that first inning. And with Sawyer Gipson-Long on the mound for the first time since 2023, you love getting him some run support early and often. Now, Sawyer Gipson-Long wasn't fantastic. He wasn't dazzling by any means, but he's certainly who we're talking about on this edition of the Locked On Tigers postcast.
This is what you'll be talking about.
The main thing is the Detroit Tigers won. We can all agree with that. It was a bounce-back opportunity after last night's stinker. And Sawyer Gipson-Long, the guy that took the ball on the mound, gave this Tigers team a chance to win. Now, you look at his final line, 3 2/3, if I could talk, 3 2/3, 5 hits, 3 earned runs. He struck out 3 and walked 1, 12 swing and misses. So he was fooling White Sox hitters, but just unable to stay in the game for an extended period of time. And honestly, didn't really know what to expect from Sawyer Gipson-Long in his first start back. But again, in this point of the season, or this point of the series, whatever you want to call it, the Tigers needed a performance that would allow them to just go out and take a game and set them up for a chance to take 3 of 4 from the lowly White Sox, and mission accomplished. And again, I'm not here to say, wow, that was an incredible, dazzling performance by any means. But again, you had to go out and find a way to win this game, and that's exactly what this Tigers team did. Now, do I love the just complete absence of offense from innings number 2 through 8? Absolutely not. Of course not. But in the end, the Tigers found a way to get it done. And, by the way, we're definitely going to break down more of that Wenceel Perez slide later in the program in the Turning Point segment. And that's obviously a little bit of a tease. But right now, some comments that are kind of throwing me off, because that's what happens sometimes, where you have one idea for the show and you read a comment and all of a sudden that is taken the other way. Because I disagree wholeheartedly with John Tater here, but as always, comments are welcome. That's the whole point of the live Locked On Tigers postcast here on YouTube. Spencer Torkelson will be in AAA by the All-Star break, and he will never return. That's from John Tater. I disagree. I mean, obviously, tough night for Spencer Torkelson. 0-for-4 on the evening. He did draw a walk and score a run. The averages dipped to 231, slugging percentage at 495. And yeah, I mean, am I here to tell you it's and 726 for the OPS, by the way. Am I here to tell you it's been great lately? No, of course not. But I think that's a little bit of an overreach. All right, let's get into some more positive comments. Prester says, solid win for the boys. Gipson-Long looked good for the first time through the lineup, but seems like the Sox figured him out in his second go around the order. And Riley is incredible. Indeed, he is. Riley Greene continues to mash and be the focal point and face of this surging Tigers team that leads all of Major League Baseball in win. Mr. Bobby 24 says, don't play Colt Keith in darts. Yeah, of course, the game-winning hit. How about that? A lawn dart that ends up as an RBI double for Colt Keith along the left field foul line. Somehow, some way, I thought off the bat, no way that falls. But indeed, it did. And you know what? For the way baseball works, it's just funny because Colt Keith hits that lawn dart that scores Wenceel Perez, I believe. Who was the next bat? I believe it was Javy Baez, just hits a shot out to right field and it doesn't fall. It was right at the fielder to make the catch there, and that's just the way baseball works sometimes. Or as Tim Kirkman will say, that's what I love about baseball. But yeah, Baez lines out after Colt Keith doubles. But how about the back end of the bullpen? And Holton came in with the bases loaded, nobody out, and did a good job of limiting the damage there. To just the one sacrifice fly. And I was worried that was going to be the turning point where the Tigers had the bases loaded in the fifth, failed to score. White Sox come back and score one to tie it. I was worried. I had that as my turning point, but fortunately the game turned in that eighth inning with the Wenceel Perez impressive double from the slide on the overturn, which was a great challenge, by the way, by AJ Hinch and that bench staff. All right. Demetrius McNeil is up next, and he says, huge play went to Colt Keith because his RBI double turned out to be the game winner after AJ Hinch won the challenge. There you go. All right. Gray Matter says, good on Perez hustling to second for the eventual winning run after getting hit around the knee with the nasty sweeper in the fifth. Dude plays with a lot of heart. That's a great point, and I'm glad you brought that up because – you know, it's not often you see a guy take that type of shot in the batter's box and then stay in the game, and not only stay in the game, but make one of the game-winning plays for the winning team. So good point there from Gray Matter. And I was worried the way Wenceel Perez went down when he was initially hit with that. He didn't really move a whole lot. It was just kind of face first in the dirt for what felt like way too long, but fortunately he shook it off and gets the win. This is from Braylon Dennis. Gipson-Long slider was nasty. I got to agree. And agree. I forget who had the comment about the first time through the order. He looked good, but struggled the next time through. YouTube user says quality teams wins games like in Chicago tonight. I would agree. The long rain delay is tough. Jason Benetti described it as a sleepy night in Chicago, so that could be part of it. By the end, though, it did sound like there were a lot of Tigers fans there for sure. Gareth Riding said, another wild game from the Tigers. Indeed, indeed. All right. Owen Oliver says, Brebbia pitching is like Russian roulette. No, not always going to kill you, but is the risk really worth it? Yeah. Oh, man, there's been a lot of Tigers bullpen pitchers in the past over the years for my 32 years of life of watching this Tigers team that could be described that way, where, yeah, you never really know what you're going to get, and it is kind of a roller coaster. That's for sure. All right, let's go ahead and take a quick timeout. We've got our turning point and our player of the game right around the corner. We got to keep the lights on here on a Locked On Tigers postcast. Thanks for staying up late with me. And as always, appreciate you tuning in. Back in a moment on the Locked On Tigers postcast. Hey, this episode, it's brought to you by Monarch Money. You ever had that feeling where you open your bank account, maybe using your phone app or whatever it is, and you wonder, where did all my money go? Between dining out, online shopping, and entertainment, it's easy to lose track, but that's where Monarch Money comes in. It's your personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money isn't just a budgeting app. No, it's way more. It's a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, investments, and spending all in one place, so you stop just managing your money and you start building wealth. I love the all-in-one convenience. Instead of juggling multiple apps and opening one screen to the next, you can use Monarch Money to check your finances, track spending, and even plan long-term goals, all right in one convenient way. It's super easy to use. I love managing my money with my partner. That's right. It's smoother than ever now with some of their collaboration tools, such as tracking shared personal accounts. You can set goals together. It all helps you stay on the same page without any of the stress. So what the heck you waiting for? Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com. That's LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com. Code LOCKEDONMLB. LOCKEDONMLB for half off your first year. This episode of the Locked On Tigers postcast is also brought to you by Supply House. Get the supplies you need from the site that's made for the skilled trades, Supply House. Whether you're in plumbing, HVAC, or electrical work, Supply House is the reliable way to order products online. Their easy-to-use website, well, guess what? It's packed with helpful resources and the latest product information to help you get the job done right. Plus, with a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from 400 plus top brands, you'll find exactly what you're looking for and what you need delivered fast from coast to coast. If you need help with an order, Supply House offers expert support and industry-leading service, so you'll always talk to a real person. Let me repeat that. You'll always talk to a real person. And for trade pros looking for an extra edge, it's the free Trademaster program, which offers exclusive perks like a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Thousands of skilled professionals are already taking advantage, and now it's your turn. Join the Trademaster program today at supplyhouse.com/TM and start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with just a few clicks. Use promo code SH5 for 5% off your first order. That's promo code SH5 for 5% off your order at supplyhouse.com. Tigers win this one over the Chicago White Sox 5-4. They've taken the first 2 of 3, one more tomorrow. A little day game, afternoon baseball. You got to love that. 4-2 on this road trip so far, making it a 5-2 road trip is exactly what the doctor ordered before a big weekend showdown against the Chicago Cubs back at Comerica Park. All right, let's get into our turning point segment. I think you know where I'm going with this one.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Wenceel Perez out of the box, thinking double all the way. Let me go back a little bit. Top of the 8th inning, tie game, sits on a changeup, stays through the baseball, as Carlos Pena perfectly explained on the broadcast. Legs out a double, was originally called out, but a nifty, difty, handy, dandy swim move. If you're watching on YouTube, I just did my best Wenceel Perez swim move impersonation, and is able to elude the tag. And instead of 1 out, bases empty, it's a runner on second, nobody out. We all know that's a lot better for the Tigers. And the lawn dart from Colt Keith, the RBI double a few batters later, gives the Tigers the go-ahead run, and ultimately the bullpen brings it home. So where that game was won, I'll tell you where it was. The hustle from Wenceel Perez, the execution of an effective slide, and the presence of mind to call for the challenge, although it feels like every single player always calls for the challenge, if we're being honest. But A.J. Hinch and company challenging the call. It's reversed, and the Tigers come out and find a way to pull out the win. So total team effort tonight, but man, that turning point with Wenceel Perez, you got to give it up to him. And on top of that, as one of the commenters mentioned, just one at bat after being beamed in the knee and being down for an extended amount of time. Great stuff there in the 5-4 win. That's what it takes. How about our player of the game?
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
This one's tough because you feel like you could give it to Riley Greene for his 2 RBI, the only player for the Tigers with multiple RBI, and he has been so good lately. Another 3-hit game. Feel like Perez deserves at least a discussion. This is one of those we're thinking out loud before we name our player of the game. Colt Keith has the game-winning RBI. And how about Will Vest? I mean, 2 strong innings. He gets the win. He's 5-0. Tigers don't win this game without Will Vest. He struck out 3. Or Tommy Kahnlee, just a nice, quiet 1-2-3 inning in the 9th in a 1-run game, his 8th save of the season. And of all of those, I'm curious what the people think. Let me know in the comments. But I'm going to go with Riley Greene. 3-hit game, 2 RBI single to get the scoring started and get this game going in the right direction. And he's just steady. He is steady. He is consistent. He is the face of this franchise right now from a positional player standpoint, and just continues to do it night in and night out. And remember, I was guilty of this. We're talking about a slow start. Should we be concerned? No, nothing to be concerned. But you got to love it from Riley Greene. That's my player of the game. Looks like Braylon Dennis agrees with me in the comments. Appreciate that. Okay. Brian Powers, great point here. Colt Keith, 10-game hit streak. Appreciate you pointing that out. I did not realize he was at a 10-game hit streak. So we will take it. Okay. It's late. I mean, it is past midnight. It's on to Thursday on the East Coast in the Eastern Standard Time Zone, or Eastern Time Zone Standard. I don't know how. Look, I can't even make sense of any complete sentence or coherent thought, but how is that new and different from any other day? That's a great question. Tigers, White Sox tomorrow, and we got a little afternoon baseball in the Central Time Zone. So you've got a 2:00 start Eastern and 1:00 locally. And if we're being particular, 2:10 Eastern time, 1:10 locally. Casey Mize back on the bump for the Tigers. Sean Burt for the White Sox is your pitching matchup. Looking forward to that. Looking forward to an afternoon Locked On Tigers postcast. Glad they got this one in. Shout out to my grandparents. They were at the game. They waited out that long rain delay and enjoyed the rainbow. I'm sure a lot of people saw the rainbow from over the rate field. Although, I mean, it's just such, the names changed like 100 times. It's like, what are we doing, White Sox? And it's in the south side of Chicago, so say no more. But I believe I got a photo of my grandparents. I believe they somehow got a foul ball maybe. I'm gonna have to follow up on that. But a lot of Tigers fans at the game, which you always love to invade you love to invade the home team when you're the visitor with your fans. So keep up that good work, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Get some sleep. Tigers win this one. They're the best team in baseball. 5-4 the White Sox. They'll go for the series win in 3 out of 4 tomorrow afternoon. Casey Mize on the bump. See you then. Bye.